Well, hello, everybody, and hopefully you enjoyed that intro because today what we're talking about is life on the farm. And what you just got to see there is just a big overview of just a portion of Smeraglia
Glimpse.
Farm, right?
Yes, and it's beautiful. It's exciting.
I know. Okay, so today what we're going to do is a series. We're starting, it's kind of like a series, but it won't be every week. It's going to be like once a month, kind of splashed in there. They're never going to know when it's coming. And we're going to do life on the farm because what we do here at Smeraglia, it's a lot about dogs.
It is, but
know.
it's not
No,
all about dogs.
No, we're so much more. And we want to at least highlight everything that we do here. And it's going to be a lot of fun because we love life on the farm. I mean, that's kind of something we share.
Oh, we do have that in common.
Yeah.
So we think Life on the Farm segments are going to be maybe a little bit of dog talk and a lot of farm talk, or no dog talk and all farm talk.
I think it's wide open. I think we can talk whatever is
Mixing
the
it
hot
up.
topic of the farm.
What's been going on here?
And I would love to see it be like a culmination of maybe 4 or 5 weeks. Like over the last month or over the last few weeks, these are the things that happened on the farm outside of, hey, you guys know we're about dogs, right? But you don't know every single thing that we have our hands involved in and all the things that it takes to run life on the farm. I mean, you know, you have a little miniature farm.
Yeah, and it's a lot.
Yeah, and just
a lot,
preparedness, taking care, management of the farm, the grounds, the animals, all of the produce, things that you want to produce out of the ground. I mean, it's a big deal.
It is, but I think, that's part of what makes us a very healthy company because, and I think any healthy, happy company is multifaceted, but has found a way to blend all of the different elements into this harmonious, functioning facility, because that way you get the different people. Like, you hit a lot of different interests.
Yeah, you see everybody's like strengths, and like for you, y'all might not know this, but she loves gardening. And when we say gardening, she has got a mega garden going on every year. And she's got her tractor that she's got a name for.
Otis.
Yes.
That's my tractor.
Yeah, and so she just loves that, and you always see her in her overalls hanging out on the farm. And so that's a side of Meredith that whenever I need to like get my sunflowers planted, or I'm wanting to talk about a fall garden or producing things or planting trees, that's my go-to person.
Yes.
I'm always saying, Meredith, are we in the right zone? Can we do that here? Or when can I plant this? Or is it too late? Or,
And we missed sunflowers
Oh,
this
we
year.
missed our sunflowers. I hate that.
Missed that part.
Because if you know us, you know that sunflowers is one of the things that we actually absolutely love. And we have this great area for Gotcha Day pickups. And it's just so beautiful. And we would always do like literally 6 or 8 foot row by about 300 feet.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say. No,
Yeah.
not 30. It's, about 300, I think. It's just so picturesque.
I know.
But, that's an element, too, where you can have, like, I love dogs. I love being outside. I love gardening.
Yeah.
And it's a culmination of all of it. And here, because there's so much that goes on, life on the farm, and there's people that take care of different parts of it, I just know that other people are getting fulfilled and doing a lot of different tasks. Like, you can do hobbies and your job. And, we need the analytical people. We need the creative people. We
Definitely.
need the outside people, the inside. And we have it all here. And I think that's why we're such
We
a
even
happy
have the
company.
mechanics
And of course,
people that know
dogs.
how to do everything. So, and all the scientific people, that's all
Yeah.
a big deal and part of everything we do. But I feel like it makes everything that we do excellent because we carry these things over. We want to have this incredible breeding program here that my goal is to have the #1 breeding program in the world, not necessarily size, but just in
Quality and
Yes.
standards.
Yes, and what we
Well,
do.
I think you're well on your way.
And that is my goal. So everything that we do, though, we do feature it all over our social media platforms. And we definitely want you guys to stay connected. So Meredith's going to share how you can stay connected with us.
Yeah, so not only here, but you want to follow us on all of our platforms so that you don't miss Life on the Farm or Doodle Days or
right.
whatever we are doing. Each one may show you and feature just a little bit different content. So find us on Instagram. You can see all those listed here. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest,
That's right.
YouTube. But be sure you like and subscribe, certainly here to our podcast, but then like all the other ones as well, so that you don't miss out, that you don't miss out on the opportunity to connect with us and become even more active part of the family and our friends. We just have a great community of people, and it's because they follow us.
It is. It's so great. And, let's talk through some of those because,
Okay.
all right, so over on Facebook, we have Smeraglia's Teddy Bear Goldendoodles. And over there, I would say every day, that's probably the busiest place. You're going to see Smeraglia dogs and Smeraglia staff, 4 or 5 times a day.
Yes.
And we go live throughout the day a lot there.
Yeah.
And that's a real fun place. We've got a lot of followers there, and we've been there a long time.
Right.
And so we really want to keep that going. But something that goes on over there that's a little different from here on YouTube is that we have a supporter. You can become a subscriber. And so there's also a club there, but we do Yappy Hour there every Monday night. We literally sit around and have Yappy Hour. We'll have a glass of wine or a cocktail or coffee, whatever it is in the evening. It's typically around 5:15 for about an hour, and it's just us hanging out on the farm
Yeah.
and talking about what's going on in the life at Smeraglia. So that's fun, and you can actually join that too. If you just want all things Smeraglia, go do that. But then Instagram is that beautiful pictures. But what we don't have posted is that we have Smeraglia_farm, which is on Instagram.
Right.
And now we need to add that site eventually
Yeah,
for you guys.
especially with this series, because that's where you do get to see all of the farm life, our farm animals, what's going on there, the caretakers. It's just its own little version of a cute page. And if you're like us, if you love dogs, you probably love farm animals
All
as well.
animals.
All that.
You get to see it all. And the TikTok, you don't see me much on TikTok, but you see Meredith and Taylor. And they're always doing the little dance challenges. So if you want something funny, go there. But anyway, our social media, we have a lot of fun. And one of the things that I've learned just in the world that I live here, in the dog breeding world, I realized a long time ago that you have to be relevant and real and transparent. And people are so reluctant to get behind a breeder if they don't really feel like they know you.
They can connect.
And so I felt like early on it was very important for me as a breeder to just be a little bit more transparent and really put myself out there, be vulnerable a little bit, let you see a little bit what's going on in my home, what's going on in my family, introduce you to my grandkids. You come into my house, you come into every part of Smeraglia Farm, all the facilities, all of the buildings, everything that we have, and as we grow, we show you what we're doing. And I love that because people are so nervous nowadays.
And rightly so.
Yeah.
I am. I think we all are. If you're trying to connect with something new, or if you're trying even to make a big purchase, or you're unfortunately,
you gotta do your homework.
Right now, the first inclination is to not trust now.
Right.
It's like, okay, now you have to prove yourself, and you have to build that trust with your consumers these days, unfortunately. But I think we do a really good job of providing pretty much anything that you want to see, and with any person you want to connect to, there's an opportunity to do that.
And under most any thread, you can ask, hey, I want to see more of this, or I want to see more of that. And people do it every day. And once we see what you want, we make sure we make that happen. Now, because we've done such a good job, like just putting ourselves out there and being transparent, it's random that we find ourselves on other people's sites because there are people that come and build other social media scammer sites. I've seen Meredith on all those sites. It's hilarious. So that's why we try to say, this is who we are. This is
Right.
the original. We're the legit people.
Right.
And you know us. And we have so many people that are texting us or calling us and saying, hey, look, I found y'all over here.
Yeah.
You know.
And everybody has a different preferred way of communication. And what we have done is eliminated that excuse of, oh, well, I couldn't get in touch with anybody, or I didn't feel like I could talk with anyone. If you like to email, we've got that. If you like to chat, if you like to live chat, if you like to direct message, if you like to Instagram, if you know, we have someone talking on all those platforms at all times. And it's not just somebody in the background. It's somebody, one of us that you see day in and day out. So, you know, whatever is your preferred way to communicate, we got you.
You even have said to me before, you'll say, I miss so-and-so, or you'll see them when you're going live and say, you've been gone, I haven't
Where
seen
have
you
you
in a while.
been? Yeah.
So we actually love connecting with you guys. We love the relationships. And more than anything, even the topic, you know, that we're going to talk about today is what happened on the farm this week, you know, the great things. And one of the great things, it's about the relationships and trying to do everything that we do good, and then there's better, and then there's best. And I think, you know, my goal, everybody's goal should be when you run a business or you're running a dog breeding program or a dog training program or any kind of business, you want to do it good. But then as you learn how to do it better, and then you do it better, and then you just should always, my goal is to strive for excellence. And is this the best? And I will tell you that sometimes there is a gap from, I know what excellence is, especially when we were new and just starting. Like many of you have businesses, you know what excellence is, and you have a goal to get there, but there's also a time. You know, it takes time to get from one place to the other. And I think that the more you know, we know how to breed. We knew over the years how to breed and what it took. But we only knew what we knew.
Right.
You know, that's it. You don't know what you know until you don't know it, but then when you find out. And so I think that's where we're at today. So let's go ahead and introduce the topic today. Today we had our guest, the Embark company. We had our representative from the, it's the Embark Breeder Program. We had Lauren come here, and she came and toured the facilities, and she went over so many different things here. She got to see puppies, and we're going to share a video from her experience in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But just the whole week, it was like 3 days last week of her coming in and really learning so much. But I want y'all to know that we had no clue really the impact that would make on us or Embark or all of the people that see in the videos.
Right.
So do you even know, before this happened, did you really know much about Embark?
No, I really did not. You know, of course, we met them when we went to New York.
Yeah.
But just the magnitude of their mission, and then how mutually beneficial it was going to be for her to come here. This is her second time to
Yes.
come, right?
Yeah.
And I could tell just she was blown away and just so thankful, but so overwhelmed with the knowledge that she gained being here. But so were we. I could tell from your reaction and our team's reaction, it was such a mutual respect that came to the table, and both parties walked away going, wow, this is a beautiful partnership. And I didn't know, about Embark, again.
Because that's not your world at Smeraglia. I mean, that's not, we talk about lanes. Everybody's got their lane in your job, in your task, what you're doing every day. That's not necessarily Meredith's lane, but she needs to be aware and understand because of everything that she and Taylor do on social media. Everything that we do, they are telling the world about it.
Right.
And so you learning about this, I mean, how did that make you feel?
Well, it's very exciting, and it felt like it felt like such an honor to be, they had their target on us. And, they're a big company. They
And
are
respected.
very well respected when, they are one of the sponsors at Westminster.
Yeah.
And, so they have been in this industry and have earned that credibility. And when their targets were on us, it's like, wow, we are doing something right. We didn't seek them out. They sought us out. And so that's just confirmation that, you know what, that striving all the time to be excellent, constantly pushing yourself to do things better, they took note of it. They saw immediately what they needed and how it could benefit both parties, and in turn change a lot of people's experience with their own dogs.
I remember way back a few years ago, we were actually looking at our breeding program, and when I'm talking about we, that's typically myself, Carol, who is over the reproductive side of our company, and then her team that worked right alongside of her. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to have I wanted to test our dogs. I noticed that so many breeders out there were putting on their sites, I test for this and this and this and this. And it was being used as the standard of these tests basically qualify me and make me stand out as an excellent breeder. I'm a better breeder because I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I noticed that people would start calling and say, well, do you do this test and this test and this? And I realized what was going on out there in the world. And it's not a bad thing. Everybody wants to be excellent, good, better, best, do the best that they can. And they had figured out for their kennel what was the best thing for them. And so they were all like getting behind different testing, like DNA testing. There's a lot of different companies out there. And so I was like, well, I want to do that too. I don't want to be saying, no, I don't do that. Well, why don't you? Well, then you don't care. Yes, I care. But it's all new. It's all, evolving. It's all new science. Up until that time, we did OFA test or pin hip test. We checked their hearts. We had a cardiac test, and then we could check their eyes. And that was it. That was the gold standard. And now all of a sudden, the gold standard's changing. It's been moved.
Yeah.
The standard is changing.
They're elevating the expectation. And I think in this industry, again, going back to you've got to prove yourself first, is to maybe not do those things completely right by the dog or by the health, or the things that can be kind of swept under the rug. And that's why it's become such a huge topic, and people research and ask lots of questions because they do have the expectation that you have done your due diligence, that you've done everything right by that puppy. And, sometimes it's a little
And the parent dogs.
And, your whole bloodline.
Yeah, your whole program,
Your whole bloodline. So, but now that it has become so much more of a common knowledge topic, you have to be the cut above. You have to be the industry leader. But you also have to know what you're talking about.
Right. And it's, we hear it all the time because we are actually here answering the phone. I am really big on communication. I want, when you call, to be able to get a real person on the other end of the phone. And pretty much during the day, pretty much any time during 9 to 5, that's kind of our hours. But it's really interesting how the phone calls started changing a few years ago. It was like, well, I want to know about this. And you guys, the clients, the potential puppy owners were really educating themselves, and that's a good thing. But then they were asking our staff questions, and of course, my adoption specialists, they weren't aware of these things. And so they would run to us and say, what about this? And we're like, we're going to do that. And so that's how we got on Embark's radar. We reached out to them after doing all the research out there, looking at all the different genetic and DNA testing companies, talking to a lot of breeders out there. And we were in breeder groups, and we would ask questions or just follow what everybody's doing. Started doing our own research. But I would tell you, we got a puppy for our program from a very great breeder, and it was a really small, a miniature poodle. Because I I didn't breed my own miniature poodles at that time, or if I needed a specific,
Right.
type. I wanted to have a breeder that stood behind their dogs just like I do. Well, when this puppy came, I was so impressed with the DNA test.
I remember
that folder. You remember that day?
Very specifically.
That was
'cause
a
you were so
monumental
impressed. Yeah.
day in our life.
Yeah.
So it was another breeder that was running an excellent program, sent me that. I looked at it. Carol and I studied, and we were like, wow. This is impressive to us, and we're breeders. Can you imagine what this would mean to puppy owners all over the world? And it was at that moment we reached out to them, and we decided shortly after that we're going with Embark.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? So we do have a great video right now, and we would like to share that. This is Lauren, our breeder representative for Embark, and it was just a little interview. Put her on the spot when she was here, but it was really good.
My name is Lauren. I am a breeder sales executive with Embark. Embark's mission as a company is to improve the health and longevity of dogs through science and research. So every swab that comes in is used for genetic research through our partner, Cornell University College of Veterinary Medicine, and we perform research so that we can improve the health of dogs and keep them with you a little bit longer. It's so beneficial to have a DNA tested puppy because you know exactly what you're getting. There's so many things to consider when you have that new puppy in the home. My puppy is just 2 years old, so I still consider him brand new to me. I would do anything for him. I want to research how much food he should be eating, when he's going to be eating it, and I want to give myself that peace of mind. This is allowing you to do that on the genetic level. Embark gives you peace of mind that you have a healthy dog from day one. So Embark has decided to partner with Smeraglia so that we can work together and collaborate to improve the health and longevity of dogs. That is both of our missions. We want to see dogs live with their owners as long as they possibly can. And working with Smeraglia has allowed us to do that because we can use the swabs that Smeraglia provides us from their dogs and their puppies to perform research. Embark was so thrilled to be able to visit Smeraglia this week so that we can create educational content for pet owners so that they can be empowered to be better pet owners, take proactive steps in their dog's health, and to inform people of this is something that Smeraglia is doing to better their program. Embark has been a tool that they've been able to use to make health decisions for the genetic conditions of their dogs. Embark had the honor of touring Smeraglia's facilities. We got to see the nursery, Doodle Prep School. We got to see the cottage where all the adolescents are held. And it was amazing. We saw the oasis that the puppies get to live in and be with their moms. I got to see a few moms who were in labor and had just delivered brand new puppies. And we got to see, how they implement swabbing at their facility. So it's a big undertaking to test all of their dogs. It's something that should be rewarded and celebrated. And it should be something that we can use to educate other breeders on how to do that best in their program. So we've had the pleasure of working with Smeraglia to produce educational content for other breeders to be able to understand how to test full litters at a time. So some interesting things that I was able to see from this week and visiting with them is you have to keep the puppies warm. We knew that, but how do we best do that? Keeping them on a heating pad, but dividing them up so they can't interact with their litter mates. Smeraglia has been able to implement a bin system that keeps them on the heating pad. It has a little puppy pad in there because they're babies, and it keeps them warm, safe, and then also including some fluids in there to keep them well hydrated so they have a moist mouth. This is so important because other breeders need to understand how to best keep a puppy healthy, but also get the genetic health testing done that's necessary.
Well, you don't have to know anything about science and Embark and all of that DNA. Just no, that was cute.
That was cute. Puppies in buckets. That's cute.
I think when you saw it, you posted back. We were doing like little posts on social media throughout that day. And Meredith was like, no, that is cute. That was adorable. And it is, but y'all, when you look at that, to me, when I see that video, it just really makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
Because doing all of that, everything that we were doing that day, introducing her to our dogs, to our program, showing her, how we do it. And here's the thing about Embark. They have a great product. They have a great test. And for you guys, the individual pet parent, it's one swab. It's one envelope. So you can do it if you're wanting to learn things. And if you go to Embark, you can see that they'll do breed testing or age testing. Man, that's a cool one.
Yeah.
Just the age test, they were so pumped up about. That's brand new.
Yeah.
And then the other one where you can go in and swab your dog to find out what kind of issues they're having with their GI and gut issues.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal because, so many people are talking about, I don't know what's going on with my dog,
And if they could just do one swab and find out, and if it's a easy fix, how great is that?
And the worry that you might have because your dog, is like throwing up or having diarrhea or having, that loose stool nonstop and you just can't figure out. That's a real, especially if you're potty training and things. It's already hard to potty train. Then you got a puppy with a loose stool. But when puppies transition and they've got stress, we don't know if it's stress, if it's giardia, coccidia, if it's a overgrowth of bacteria, if it's something else going on. So just to have one test instead of having to go back and forth to your vet trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, definitely
I love
worth
that.
it. I do too.
So for the pet parent, that's great. But for us, the breeder side of it, that is where I am so excited. Now, we are in the process of getting all of our parent dogs tested. Pretty much every one of them are tested. We're just getting the results back. But then to get the results back and then to have to take a look at all the results and figure out what the results mean. Is this going to impact our program in a positive way? Yes. But it can also impact your program in a negative way if you find out somebody that you loved in your program that you really don't want to not use now has an issue that
It's going
you
to force
shouldn't.
your hand to change up some things, but that's the difference.
And could you imagine being a breeder and you've invested so much in these parent dogs? You've raised them up. You've done all those other tests like hip, heart, elbows. They're all clear. And now you find out they're a carrier of something that you should not breed.
Right.
That's heartbreaking.
It is, but those are in those moments. That's when people lean into the established, trusting relationship that they have. Because if you're going to make a call like that, and granted, they're not privy to all the information and the things that go on behind the scenes, but when they say, hey, what happened to that parent? It was such a favorite. Well, here's why, because we're going to be transparent of why they had to be pulled from the program. As sad as that is, it's also such credibility, for us as a company and you as a breeder that, okay, even when it hurts really bad, we're going to make the right decision based on good health and longevity for the puppies and
I
our
think
clients.
so many times it is scary to make this decision. I know I was nervous about it, testing all the dogs.
You're like, do I want to know everything?
Well, I had one breeder tell me, Sherry, you could lose 20% of your dogs in your program. And that was scary. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
But why I'm doing it? Because I want to breed with excellence and I want to stand behind what I'm breeding and I want to make the right choices. And when you think about the things I can know also, the benefit, moving forward in our culture, people want to know more. Everybody's testing themselves and doing all these genetic tests to find out who they are and where they come from and what nationality they are, but also screenings on themselves. So it is kind of the age that we live in.
It is.
Have you done any of that? I haven't either.
No, but I'm not in that age or era.
You're not doing that.
I don't.
I haven't done it either. I did buy some tests, but they're still in the drawer. My husband's like, we're not doing that. So whatever. Anyway, but our dogs, you know what? We can find out things about colors. Like sometimes I'll have a client call us up and say, is this dog going to stay black or is it going to stay chocolate? We can find out if it's got a fade gene. I mean, just to go back and say, you know what, this particular chocolate does not have a fade gene, or this black one, and they're going to stay dark, but this one could fade. We can answer questions like that with 100% confidence because we have the facts. I couldn't answer that question, and I wouldn't want you to say, well, I can tell you what I think, but don't hold me to it. There's no guarantees.
Right.
And most breeders, like myself, have it on the website. There's no guarantees about size or coat color or coat type. But now we can literally have some knowledge about size. We had one client that was so concerned about her puppy because it was so much smaller than the other puppies. And the other puppies in the litter were much bigger and just blockier. And this puppy was great. It was healthy, cute, playful, everything. But it was just so much smaller. But that was making them question, well, does this puppy have an underlying health issue that we're not aware of? And so Carol took the phone call and said, you know what, why don't we do this test? You know what, come to find out that puppy was its size. It told what the adult range should be. And this puppy just took after its smaller parents and its genetics, which in a hybrid breeding, you can have a very, very small dog, like a male that's very tiny, and then a very large female. But you could have a grandfather that size.
Right.
Well, with us testing all of our dogs, we actually had the DNA on the parents and the grandparents.
So that settled her worry.
Oh,
and
she
then
was fine.
Fully enjoyed
and
her pup.
probably saved so much worry, sleepless nights, and lots of vet bills trying to figure this out.
Yeah. What's wrong with my little dog? It's just little.
It's just small. And so those are the great things that we can find out from just this DNA testing. So I love that.
Well, I loved just from the emotional side or emotional investment side of it was that I saw the light in her eyes like we have when we're looking at puppies or these new little babies, and her heart was for, they're such an advocate, and I know she's a great representation of her team because we met them as well, that their heart is for the betterment of puppies. And I think they talk about just smarter healthcare through DNA,
Right.
utilizing that tool. But the common goal is just that dogs are happier and healthier through science, And I loved that she wasn't just a numbers person.
I do too.
She was a mush too
She
when it
loved
came
the
to the
dogs.
dogs. And
She
I
had
know
a
that
heart for
that
them.
is their goal too,
Right.
is just for dogs to be happy.
Right.
And let's use all the tools that we can to make it better.
Well, and their mission statement is that their goal is to help the dogs live a longer life, the longevity of the dog with health. Well, our goal, we want our dogs to live a long time too.
Right.
And so we have a common goal, and that's the overall health of our dogs, and just give them the best life possible and figure out if there's something going on. If we can help that, then that's what we're going to do.
And I also like that they're not only interested in working with a big company or it's they're so this is our data, this is our
Right.
information, but it's open to anyone who wants to have this test done for their,
Oh
their
yeah,
dogs.
a
and
small
that's the point.
breeder, a large breeder, a pet parent,
Right. Individual
anybody.
can utilize their tools, and I love that.
I do too. Also, as far as everything that we're doing here, I was saying earlier that Embark, they have a great product. They know how to swab a dog. They've got the test down, and that was cool, seeing the test and seeing how there's a process. They are such a great team as far as teaching you. They'll walk you through it. They'll teach you the 1, the 2, the 3, how to do that test, and then how to get it off to them. They are so good at customer service, answering the phone, being there for you. So for our clients, here's the thing. We haven't gotten to testing our puppies yet, all of them, because you have to get all of the adult dogs tested. And then once you do that, then you do the puppies, and then we'll send that in. So we have a plan in place. So we're doing some litters. And as you saw in that video, we were doing some 2-week-old litters. And,
Little
oh my gosh.
nuggets in a bucket.
It was so cute. But the process to do that, as a company, Embark, they're not breeders. So they don't know how to walk a breeder through the process. Okay, I know how to tell you to do one dog. But if you have 4 litters right now and you want to DNA test all litters, and let's say you just have 10 puppies a litter, which is very doable for big dogs, that's 40 puppies. Now you've got 40 puppies to test. You've got to keep all 40 puppies with their litter, but then separate it. And now they're 2 weeks old. They got to stay warm and healthy and all those things. Well, tell me how to do it, Embark. And they're like, well, I can tell you what you need to do, but I cannot tell you the process. And so that was the reason that they wanted to connect with us and partner with us. It's because we've worked through the kinks in the process, and we can show them how to teach another breeder how to do that. And in the end, our goal is for all puppies to be healthy, no matter what breed they are, what breeder. We want to help all breeders do their job with excellence, and all puppies get DNA tested.
Yeah.
You know, so think about
I
that.
think it's a big pivotal moment for us, for them, but then also for continuing to set a standard for what this could be. You know, we've talked about in podcasts past that a lot of people, especially during 2020 and 21, you know, they wanted to try their hand at breeding or just become, so we're seeing a lot of people fall off the grid when it comes to maintaining
breeding programs,
the breeding programs and maintaining what their original vision was. And that's always been the difference for you, is that you never lose sight of your vision. No matter how many roadblocks are in the way, you always breed with a purpose.
That's right.
And then you link arms with people who are just going to continue to propel that purpose. And so you see, as others fall off or fall by the wayside, it just really kind of, I guess, reinforces that what you're doing is beyond the trials. It's beyond the hardships that everybody had to walk through, because your purpose is so much greater. And this is going to be such a time and such a pivotal time again in our company, to where you chose to be in this partnership, and it's going to produce such a change. And then people are not going to be able to just maintain status quo anymore in the breeding industry.
I'd
once
like to
this
help
is
set
out
a
here.
standard.
Right.
That's
and I
what
think
we're
that's
trying to
what
do.
you're doing,
Yeah.
is setting that standard of, you know, that's just not okay anymore when this is at your disposal.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to do it? I mean, the pros are going to far outweigh the negatives. And I mean, as a pet parent, I can't wait till I can like give that folder and say, okay, take a look at this now. It does open up a whole nother Pandora's box and can of worms, because now we're giving a lot of information to a pet parent, and they're reading it and they're going through it. It's already kind of happened with our adoption team as they're studying. What do you mean he's a carrier of this? Oh my gosh, he's a carrier of this. He's a carrier of that.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Oh no, my dog. And so now we actually opened ourselves up for lots of questions, and we are already getting lots of questions. And so that was I think as a business that we kind of had to say, can we handle the influx of questions / concerns that our pet parents now might be having? And you know what they told us at Embark? Don't worry. We're here at your disposal. All you have to do is we will get on the phone with your client. A vet geneticist will get on the phone with our client and walk them through in layman's terms what exactly that means and why being a carrier is not a big deal. Because it's not so much if you're a carrier, if you're at risk of something, it's if you're going to breed a carrier to a carrier, and there's so much more science behind it. And so as we educate ourselves, it just is going to force us to educate the public more, to educate our staff more and our pet parents. And, it is part of the transition of walking through it, just learning about it. And for some people, it's like, it's a cute puppy and I want it. And then there's so many people, it's like, I got to understand everything here.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to take so much time now in actually looking at, okay, it's not just, well, Penny is in season and let's breed her to Max. I'm just making up names. Because this is maybe how some of you think it happens. It's like, well, she's cute, he's cute, it's going to make a Goldendoodle or it's going to make this, so let's just breed them together. And in the past, that might have been okay. It's not okay anymore. That's not how we do it. Actually, here's a video that you can watch that just kind of goes a little bit into the process. This is just the beginning of making the decision who's going to breed to who before I get the phone call of, Sherry, we walked through all of the dogs that we're potentially wanting to breed, and we want to know, we also know what the wait list looks like and what our potential clients are wanting. Here's the parents that we're recommending breeding, and here's why. But it starts with a meeting like this.
Mm-hmm. So who is next that we want to talk through?
Blanche.
So Blanche has had litters before. Let's look at what they've looked like in the past. Oh, that most recent litter, I was just looking at the litter document on them, and we had a lot of underbites in that litter, so we do not need to repeat this breeding. But let's see what it looked like to see if it gave us a look that we're going for. So we probably need to go a little bit different directions. So she's bred to Chance too. Let's see what those look like. She does good color. She has really good color. The office, I know the wait list is always in need of red, but red abstract is really something that we need. So let's look at Blanche's DNA and see if she carries for party. I'm guessing that, like bred to Chance, I'm not seeing any abstract markings, that she probably doesn't, but let's confirm that. So let's check out these traits and come down and no. So on that S locus, it is little to no white, so she doesn't carry for party. So if we want those white markings, we probably need to think about a party dog. So who do you like for her that would be mediums that would give us some party and keep that red around?
I think Axel would be really cute.
Yeah?
Or Barringer.
Okay. What do you think about like even Ruben? Yeah, because that would change up.
Yeah, he has that red and white.
And it's a little bit different genetics too. He carries for ALT activity on these traits. Let's look at like the intensity of that red. So he's got intermediate red. He himself is party, so breeding that party to a non-party, we should get almost every puppy with white on them. And then we may get a couple of dark colored puppies though, looking at this here. But it should be pretty cool as far as how it looks. You said Axel probably would be good too. Let's look him up and let's see what that is going to give us. So Axel, he also carries for a couple of things, but as long as they're not matching up with anything that Blanche is carrying for, let me go back to her. Yeah, all she's carrying for is ichthyosis, so we should be good with like Axel. So he's also intermediate red. He is party. So yeah, either one of those would probably be really good to go to. So that'll be two great options that we can go to the office with and talk to them about. The biggest thing that's going to be the difference is Axel is light color only, and then her being light color only, we will not get any black puppies out of that. But with Ruben, we do have a chance of getting maybe some black tuxedos. So we just need to see what the office's needs are and then check on the wait list.
Check this one out,
Let's
y'all.
go this way. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I'd rather sit at the table with this than with that.
You know what? Here's the deal. You guys, you got to learn us. I like the science. She likes what the science produces,
Yeah,
okay?
thank you, science for this.
Okay?
Skip to the good part.
Yeah. But you know what? The good old trusted old conference table, that's where it all begins. But I thought that was incredible. She thought it was boring. I don't know what you guys thought. But, I mean, I love reading. Oh, Axel inherited a trait that you might need to be aware of. I'm like, okay, tell me what it is. It's like, tell me about this trait that I might need to be aware of so that I don't breed Axel to another dog with the same trait, which is called an IC incorrect code gene. I mean, I don't want an incorrect code. You know why? Because I'm breeding for this,
Do
the
you know
beauty.
I was not listening to anything you were just
I
saying?
know. You're just so, well, it's okay because I was talking to them, okay? But here's
You
the
weren't
thing.
talking to us
I
anyway,
wasn't
right?
talking to you, okay? But look, this code is not incorrect. This code is perfect. But to
correct.
breed this code, somebody's got to be focusing on the science instead of playing with puppies around here.
Yeah, and I'm so glad for those people on our team because I'll be playing with the puppies.
So,
But I feel sorry for the ones that are just listening and they're not watching right now.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
missing
yeah.
out
If you're
on
just
some
listening, you're missing a cute puppy. And
puppy.
it's a cute available puppy up until the minute we decide to show an available puppy on a podcast. Brighton Green, he was available. Caleb stepped out to get him while you guys were watching that very informative video and came back and he goes, oh, by the way, he's pending. He's got a 3:30 visit. And I'm like, of course. Can we not keep an available puppy?
Not with a face like this, you can't.
Oh, he's gorgeous, though. And I love that.
And he's so sweet. He's got a fun personality. Again, it goes back to temperament, which is part of all of the sciencey things that we talk about at the table, all the things y'all do. We plug in a formula for perfect temperament, right? Isn't
We
that how
do.
that works?
That's exactly how it works. We just type in, so we have this whole database and we type in what I want. I want a beautiful, happy puppy with great temperament, and it just tells
think
us what
he's
dog.
watching.
If you really think that's science, no, we have to know. We've got to get in there.
Are you watching?
Are you looking at your
watching
cool
yourself?
self? But you know what, guys? It's not just about cuteness and temperament. That's what you guys are probably drawn to when you see one of our puppies out and about. But it goes back to health. At the end of the day, I want to breed dogs that are healthy. I want to give a 2-year health guarantee on our puppies, which I do. I give that 2-year health guarantee. But the thing about it is that I can guarantee, and I need to stand behind this puppy, and I'm going to do that. But I really want to know in my gut, my conscience, that I know as much as I can about this breeding. And I've done everything I can do. Am I going to eliminate 100% of the health issues in dogs?
No. I mean, that's
Can't do it.
No, that's just
I mean,
the
we would
nature of-
love to
Yeah,
do
of
that.
course.
Maybe a test to come out and show us how to do that one day.
Maybe.
And if it does, I will do the test. But there's common things that your dogs are going to come in contact with: Giardia, worms, coccidia. Look at him. He is staring at himself.
pretty
Y'all,
handsome,
there's a
aren't you?
screen, and we
He
can
can
see
see
what's
himself.
playing, and he can see it too, so he's not sure about it. But look at all those little frosting tips he's got on there.
Yeah, it's
We
gorgeous.
can even know if those are going to stay or if he's going to be dark red based on the DNA test of his parents. And then if we had done it, now we have not done a DNA test on him because puppies, that is in the plan as we get all the parent dogs done. You have to, it's kind of like data goes in, then puppies can go in. But I'm sure that if he is not available today, that he's got friends and family that are
That's
litter
right.
mates. So cute. So anyway, there's actually a code that you guys are going to be able to access. I think they're going to pop that on the screen and let y'all see the code. It'll give you $50
Well,
off of
it'll
the test.
be. I think it'll be in the chat. Like,
Oh, is it in the chat?
But you get $50 off if you want to do this for your own dog, and it's kind of like a refer a friend program.
Yeah.
And the link will be in the chat. But $50 off is a huge savings for some really, really vital information
Yeah.
if you need or want to know that. But take advantage of that. That's really incredible to see, and there might be mysteries that you've been trying to solve for your own dog for quite a while. So take advantage of this and follow that.
Yeah,
that
it might be
link.
for any one of the tests. I don't know which test.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could apply it to
Yeah.
all of them. But it's just so exciting. I get really pumped up over stuff like this, and Meredith gets pumped up over it once we produce the great puppies, and
Yes.
she gets to see
I
the puppies.
appreciate all that's behind it, but
You
I love
know,
the end result.
her gifting in the company is more the people. You know, we go back to, we're all about loving God, loving people, and loving dogs. What her gifting is all three of those.
Yeah.
Loving God, loving people. She really is a representative of our clients. She's an advocate for you guys and also our staff, and for the dogs and the puppies that live here and go home. We all have the same mission.
Yes,
we all have that heart, and that is to make sure that we get you the most wonderful puppy, healthy puppy with a great temperament. But the thing is, if we get it wrong or something goes wrong, Meredith is there to help you.
I'll be
and
here for
I'm
you.
there, she's there, Carol's there.
Yes.
We have got this team that will stand by you no matter what. And I think at the end of the
Absolutely.
day, I mean, that's what y'all need to know.
Yeah.
You know, about us.
You know, and there's a reason why we share all this information with y'all. There's a reason why that every platform we push the connectivity portion of it. You know, we want to hear your comments. We want you guys to talk with us during these podcasts. We want to hear your feedback. We have Jordy there today. If it's not Jordy, it's going to be Caleb or Will. They're there to interact live, because that portion of it, the people portion of all that we do, is just as important to us. And getting your feedback and hearing what you guys want to know or the things you're walking through, we just all do this better together.
We do. And you know, next week our podcast is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to figure out, take a puppy like this and figure out what motivates him. Like, every puppy's got a motivation, a training. It sounds to me like he's got one. He's trying to tell us right now that there's something. But, you know, when we do Doodle Prep School, we learn, we have to identify that.
Yeah, like what
Are
is
you
this?
people motivated? Are you treat motivated? Are you toy motivated? Looks like he's people motivated a lot, because he is looking at people and whining a lot, and he's looking at the screen a lot. So it sounds like he just wants all the people.
You like the people?
So that'll be a lot of fun next week. But this was really great, because Meredith is all mesmerized into this puppy
I'm
right now.
sorry, you lost me when they brought the
This is what happens. This is truly what happens. We always go over our Gotcha Day kit before we give the puppy to the
Yes.
family, most of the time if we
Yeah.
can, because once the puppy comes in, it's like we lose
We're
them.
done.
Hey, this is
Yeah.
it. This is their superpower right here.
Yes.
So anyway, if you've enjoyed today, if you've enjoyed Embark and learning more about us, please stay tuned, because there's so much more coming. We've got to share so many more things in the upcoming weeks. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. You'll learn so many other things about us. Sign up and become a member here so that you can actually get in on the chat, get the discounts at Fletch & Lowe. We've got a great boutique. There's so much. It's got so many wonderful products there, and you actually can get discounts. So go read about our memberships and learn more about it. But anyway, we look forward to seeing you next week. Meredith is going to hang out with this sweet puppy.
Of course I am. And next week's going to be a very interesting topic. You're going to want to tune in. Maximizing motivation.
Yeah.
So basically, we're trying to establish your dog's learning language and what motivates them and what is the quickest way to get results for your dog. So it's going to be a great topic. We are always here to be a resource for y'all beyond cute puppies. There's so much more to it, and we are just a wealth of knowledge. There is so much out there for you to tap into in the way of resources, and we want you to do that. Again, please stay connected. Send your comments in. If you want to email us privately, you can do that as well at unleashed@smeraglia.com. Please do that, and stay tuned on all of our platforms this week. I promise you won't be disappointed. See y'all next
Bye,
Tuesday.
guys.